Throughout my life, I got a chance, fortunately, to watch a lot of absolutely great episodes of different TV shows. From The Watchers on the Wall, my favorite Game of Thrones episode, to Black Christmas, the episode of Black Mirror that disturbed me deeper than anything else that I've ever seen. From the finale of the third season of Attack on Titan and to the finale of the first season of Arcane. However, after watching so many TV episodes, I realized that I have one absolute favorite of mine. The most artistically sophisticated, weird, and at the same time, absolutely beautiful piece of TV. And I'm talking about episode 8 of David Lynch's Twin Peaks: The Return. I never caught a glimpse of the original Twin Peaks series as a kid, even though a lot of people did, apparently. Though I heard a lot about it, especially after I started following Gravity Falls, which I heard from basically everywhere was inspired by David Lynch's show. I watched Twin Peaks just recently, and while I enjoyed the weirdness of Lynch's project a lot, there were a lot of moments in season 2 when I felt like Lynch's creative flow was brutally interrupted by channel executives. Season 2 is bloated with different unnecessary plot lines and is very unfocused story-wise. Overall, it gives off an impression of being a soap opera without even being a proper soap opera. Still, it was a great season with a lot of intrigue and satisfying ending, which was not spoiled even by the early reveal of the murder of Laura Palmer. The original Twin Peaks is certainly a good show, especially taking into consideration the time period when it was produced, late 1980s and early 1990s, when television was dominated by feel-good, inoffensive, and safe comedy and romantic shows. Watching Twin Peaks after tons of 80s content must have felt like listening to Black Sabbath for the first time in 1970. Not that I experienced any of that, of course, since I was born much later, but I at least can imagine how it was. I liked Twin Peaks: The Return, released in 2017, probably even more than the original show, precisely because it felt like David Lynch and Mark Frost were finally given full creative freedom over the creative process. Because The Return does not play by the rules of mainstream media. It is weirder, much scarier than the original show, it has a mature R rating, and purely focuses on the story that Lynch wanted to tell and the characters that Lynch finds intriguing to follow. And the episode 8, which does not officially have a title, it goes by Part 8, but is known as God of Light, is the culmination of the show. Not plot-wise, it is still in the first half of the show. God of Light is the culmination of Lynchian vision poured into the screen, unfiltered. Most of the episode is made in black and white, which reminds us of Eraserhead, Lynch's first full-length feature film, and also his best movie to this day, in my personal opinion at least. Just recently I made a video essay about Lynch's early career, where I talked a bit about Eraserhead too. The first 16 minutes are set in present time. The scene right after Ray shoots Evil Cooper is brilliantly nightmarish. When the woodsmen come out of the woods accompanied by Angelo Badalamenti's terrifying score, it feels like we are witnessing a really bad dream. But then, after a 9-inch nail scene, a true cinematic delight commences. Lynch suddenly blows away the boundaries of time and space and takes us into a surrealist cosmic journey. We witness a Trinity test. The scene is accompanied by a brilliant piece of music called Threnody for the Victims of Hiroshima by Polish composer Krzysztof Penderecki. Music and visual side create a perfect audio-visual combination. We see a nuclear explosion in the distance, and slowly, while music is playing, the digital camera is getting closer and closer to the explosion, until we disappear within the mushroom cloud, which takes us on a journey across the realities. The Trinity test opened the door to another wild universe. Lynch's imagination shines with bizarre and terrifying otherworldly images of creatures and places. We see an absolutely beautiful dance of music and visual treats, the contrast between green, black and white and golden. Godolight is perhaps my favorite scene of an entire episode. The sound design that makes us feel like electricity is running through the screen, slowed down movements of the woodsman, and echoed voice.
Godolight? Godolight? Godolight?
The expression of sheer terror drawn on the face of a husband who's driving a car, and the loud muffled scream of his wife who sees the woodsman coming onto the car from the dark and gloomy desert under the cover of New Mexico night. Then of course the scene on the radio station where one of the woodsmen is reciting his poem about a dark horse.
This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full and ascend. The horse is the white of the eyes, and dark within.
We hear the neighing of the horse, and then the episode suddenly comes to an end, leaving us questioning what we just saw. We barely understand what just happened on screen. Who are these mysterious woodsmen? What is this creature born from an egg in the desert? A weird hybrid of a frog and some insect. Did the egg get to our world because the nuclear explosion tore the wound between the universes and unleashed the craziness of another world into our own? If someone awaited the third season of Twin Peaks to finally get long-anticipated answers to multiple questions, then the return just poses even more questions. But that's the beauty of surrealist art. Godolight is peak David Lynch. It's his weird imagination that is untamed and uncensored, given all the resources it needs to create a fascinating and artistically rich imagery on screen. And this is precisely why Godolight is the best TV episode I've ever seen. Twin Peaks: The Return in general is one of the most fascinating shows of the 2010s. But episode 8 stands out even within this outstanding season of television.